comes on here. I've been sitting out here for quite a while now, and on my patio, and my air conditioner unit is right there. And yes, what? And the air conditioner unit turned on, so that might be loud in the background. Well, I'll see if anybody comes on here. I don't have a lot of subscribers, so I don't know who is going to come on here, but you never know. I probably should have gave some warning. It's been an interesting day on the old YouTube with a lot of shows. I don't know. I'm using my phone. I probably should use a computer, but I just wanted to try this out. I said I might do a nose is itching. Might do a live, and so I'm trying it out, and so here I am. Probably isn't the best thing to do to use my phone, but what do you know? What do you do? I'm having a cold one on a beautiful Saturday evening. And anyway, I said that it's been this nose. It's been an interesting evening watching. I've been watching a variety of lives, and there was an interesting live earlier that I kind of somewhat took part of. And hello, Carol. And I think it was a group of YouTube creators especially involved in the Delphi case, and I think they were trying to hash things out. I don't know if they did. I hope they do. Because anybody that's interested or involved in the Delphi case, or any input of any kind is, in my opinion, is helpful. Some people might go too far with some things, and I'll just leave it at that. But I think any attention that's drawn to the case is positive, because they always say that negative publicity is good publicity. So I guess I am going to, I don't know. I just thought that this would be interesting. It's such a nice night tonight. It was so hot the last couple of days. Yesterday was unreal. Using your phone too. Yeah. It's just easier. I can't. I have a laptop. I have two laptops, and neither one of them I can move. Because the batteries are not so good. One of the, those hawks. We've got a couple of hawks in the area that have moved into the neighborhood. I think they're trying to set up shop, and they're very loud. They're chasing off every other little guy, every other little animal in the neighborhood. Squirrels are all scared. Anyway, I kind of lost where I was at. It's really squawking. I don't know if you can hear it. Probably hear the air conditioner. But I don't know how many are watching. It's not telling me how many are watching, so I don't know. Probably not too many. Yeah, it is. That's right, Carol. Boy, that hawks. It's a couple of hawks. It's kind of like that movie with Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas with the lions. I think they moved into the neighborhood and they're intimidating everyone. Anyway, the humidity was horrible, and I cannot stand humidity. I live here in Illinois, central Illinois. It's very humid. I wish it wasn't. When I was a kid, which was a long time ago, it's in the 70s, it never seemed to be humid. It was hot, but it seemed to be drier. It seems to be much more humid now, and my getting older body can't handle that. Thanks. Thanks, Carol. I don't know if you're the only ones commenting, so that you might be the only ones on here. I can't really see. It just says live, and that's about it. So I'll assume there's just tons of people on here. So many people. Anyway, the humidity. Right now is wonderful. About this morning wasn't too bad. About 6 or midday it was bad. Yesterday was ungodly. It was like you could just, it's like you had to slice your way through the air. But not too bad. It's supposed to be pretty good tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think we're heading up to Starved Rock State Park. I did a video in Utica, which is just north of Starved Rock, and which is a cool little town. It's a very small town. And they had the unfortunate tragedy of the tornado that went through. Can't remember the date now. I think it was 2006, something like that. 2000, I don't know. But they've kind of rebounded, and they were a canal town. They had, when Illinois had canals, that area was very prosperous because they ran grain and other things through up to Chicago. And so that area was big. The canals are similar to the ones in Delphi. They walk a little horse or a donkey or a mule, and then it tugs the canal boat, and they were able to move goods through there. Anyway, getting off track, but so Starved Rock's right there on the south side of the Illinois River. Been there many times, thinking about doing a video there. May do it live. It's probably true. Well, it's coming up. It's going in and out. And now I can see it. Maybe it's because it blends in with my fence. That could be why I can't see it. And my glasses that I have are special, so it reflects things. Okay. Well, it would be nice. Hey, I can talk to myself all day. I do that usually. So if it's just you, Carol, or if it's two people, or maybe the two people that I think it says two, but I don't know. Maybe I'm the second one. But I was hoping that some people were on here that maybe can ask me some questions. I can think of some other things I might be doing in the future after I go to Starved Rock. I would like to trying to set up another trip, maybe east, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to set those trips up with different things that I do. It's kind of when you still have certain work obligations and the things that I do in my life. It's kind of hard to orchestrate all that. Hey, Doc, go to Disneyland? Yeah. I think Adam the Woo spends enough time there. I love Adam. I think he's excellent at doing his videos. I think he's the only one that I've been able to find that doesn't really have to do that much editing. He just talks. Well, he edits, but I think he can think of things on the spot better than anyone else. I watch him. I watch Carpetbagger. I watch Justin Scard. Another guy that I really like that does a really good job with his, yeah, I see two. So obviously it's not counting me. That's good. I watch Traveling Robert Morales. He's really good. He does an excellent job with editing his videos. He's a nomad camping guy. Drives around the country in his camper. I like his videos. They're very interesting. They're engaging. They're better than mine. Most of them are better than mine. Most of the creators are better. Who else do I see? I think in a video that I did about when I went to Carrollton Bridge in Delphi, because it's where a canal, it's where the canal's gone. It used to be there. I haven't been on a roller coaster in a while. The last roller coaster I was on was probably the little kid. I took my son on when we went to the Indianapolis Zoo. We went on I can't remember, it was a roller coaster at the zoo, and it was, I guess it was okay. He was fine with it, but it was kind of I mean, it was a roller coaster, but not like a one you would scream at. It's one of those roller coasters when you're wondering when it's over with. But that's probably the last roller coaster I was on. I've been on some big ones. I've been on Space Mountain. I've been on the Eagle. I don't even know if that exists anymore. That's at Great America up in Gurnee, up north from here. I don't know. I don't remember any other ones I've been on. Now I don't know what I was talking about before the roller coasters. Oh, I know a roller coaster I used to love. I used to go to Monticello, Indiana, to Indiana Beach. We had a cabin over there when cabins were cheap. Now it's where our cabin was at. I can't even find it if I happen to go out on the lake because it's gone. There's probably a $500,000 house sitting in that spot now. When we had a little cottage, as my grandpa would call it, who's no longer with us. When we stayed there, it was probably a $50,000. Yeah. Yes, it is. It's an hour, Doc. It's an hour from me. I used to go over there every weekend with my grandparents. And I used to fall asleep on the porch, on the screened-in porch, watching the Sky Ride. And the Sky Ride went till 11 o'clock at night. And I could watch it turn off. Yeah, I do. I watch them too, Carol. Um, I, I'm. There's only a few cases that I'm in. One of the cases that I'll go to that. So hopefully I don't stray off into a. So anyway, to end uh, Indiana Beach, it was the Sky. I can't remember what it was. I don't think the coaster's there now, but it was cool. And it was great to watch the fireworks over the lake. But anyway, now when I go back to the crime, if you've watched my videos, the reason why I was so interested in Delphi was because of the proximity to my house. I've been to Delphi because Delphi is just southeast of Monticello. Like I said, I used to go to Monticello a lot. We used to go occasionally through Delphi to get to Lafayette or even Indianapolis. Two, those girls were my son's age. They would have been in my son's class. My son graduated in 2021, and I mean, I watch crime shows. My wife loves them. She watches them, every one of them that's on. But I always liked watching. There's a few I watch. I used to watch, can't think of his name now. Cop Facts knows him. Guy from Colorado Springs. The my guy. I can't think of his name. Watched his. I like to watch the See No Evil, which is all video cameras, because video cameras are very helpful in trying to solve a crime. But cases interesting cases, like weird cases. The one that's out on, crap. Guess I should have been for more. The one that just happened when they arrested the guy. Somebody can help me out. Is it Long Island? No, Jersey Shore. There was a movie that was out a couple years ago that was about that. I know that Amy Ryan was in it, if anybody knows who that is. They just arrested the guy. The guy's like 6'6" or something. Anyway, that case I was interested in, the baby Dior, which Prof has talked about, because that's a very weird case. but mainly my whole focus has been on Delphi. I followed Delphi from the very start. I thought it was a very strange case. Um, Maybe not strange, but very. It was weird for here. When I was about 14 years old, we had a murder here in our town, and the girl's name was Jessica Hosick. She was a year older than me, and it was somewhat similar to it. I don't want to say it's exactly like it, but she was called out to a, I think, if I remember correctly. I shouldn't say that, but I'm pretty sure she was called out or she agreed to meet some people. And she went into the woods with them and they murdered her. And she was missing for a while and she was found by a hunter and she was tied to a tree. And um, that was always it was very, I knew her. I wasn't real close to her. I didn't know her that well, but I knew her. You know, like you do with most people. You have cordial, or you know of them, or you speak to them, but you don't hang around with them, things like that. But, and I knew they did find the people the guys that murdered her. One was an absolute nut job, and most people that knew him in school were not surprised by it. And the other guy that did it was talked into him, talked into it by the main perpetrator. Jim Treese and William Braid were their names. Jim Treese was the guy in charge, and William Braid was the guy that was with him. And I think William Braid was a slower guy, maybe. Kind of the similar thing with the West Memphis Three, when they kind of did, even though those three guys are innocent in my opinion. Um, I think there's a lot of shenanigans going on with that. I don't want to get into that. Maybe I'll get into that another time. Um, but it was a horrible tragedy for our town. There's a plaque in our school, our high school, and just you never know what's going to happen. You think you're in a small, innocent town, just enjoying life, and the next thing you know, you think, oh, something like that's not going to happen here. I'm sure that's the same thing that went through most people's minds in Delphi. I don't like using we leave our doors unlocked, because we haven't left our doors unlocked since I was about 10. That would have been 1980, 81. Yeah, Long Island. Yeah, that's right. Lost Girls. That's it. I think that's what it is. I think that's a movie. And but you never know what's gonna. You think that you're in a small town and something like that's not gonna happen, and you just never know. It happens all over. There's just evil everywhere, and that's really unfortunate. It's I don't know. It's just really tough. And with Delphi, I would imagine I mean, that case is very strange. I mean, I've got sucked into some certain things. Um, where are you at, Carol? You don't have to tell me where you live, but give me a general location. For some reason, I think you live in Pennsylvania or something like that. Maybe that's just me. I want to go to Pennsylvania too sometime. I'd like to go to a Pocono race, NASCAR race. I'd like to do a swing to Pocono and to Richmond, but and plus some Civil War nut. That's why when I'm on Randy's Jeopardy, I usually know all that stuff. Um, Trying to think of anything else. I don't want to go to dead air, but I would like to hear. I see that there might be three people. I don't know. My fence is real. Maybe this wasn't a good idea to have that. Maybe the little three. I don't know. I think there's three. Hey, that's better than zero. Three is better than zero. Um, this is supposed to be a free for all. I don't remember if I put that on there or not, which doesn't mean I have to answer everything. But if you have questions, I'll answer them. What else? What else can I think of? Oh, was it? Yeah. Um, yeah, the Beatles mainly. I've been a. I think you, Doc, you probably saw the. You probably. I don't know how many of those you saw, but I did. The most popular of my Beatles videos is my record collection, and my mom was the one that got me started on that, and we listened to them, and my brother, my older brother, got into it. He's still a Beatles fan, but I think I became obsessed. And the reason why I honestly got obsessed with the Beatles is because there were songs that scared me. I was going to do a video on how I was scared into liking the Beatles. And one of my favorite Beatles songs is "I Am the Walrus," and that scared me. And some of the songs on the White Album scared me. Revolution 9, I guess, various ones. But anyway, my mom was the main one. My dad was an Elvis fan, and then he was a big surfing guy because we got a lot of surfing that takes place in Central Illinois. I had a friend at college that was always a big Pacific Ocean or a surfing guy, and he's from Shorewood. He was from Shorewood. Um, Thanks. Um, but yes, I've tried to think of backfiring cars in the background. Tried to think of some other Beatles things. I wanted to do some. I did a video about 30 years later on Hope or Off the Ground. Almost said Hope of Deliverance. That is the single off there. And I was going to do a 30-year or a 50-year on Red Rose Speedway, which is an excellent Paul McCartney and Wings album. One of my favorites. I love that album. Um, but I never got around to it because if I want to do Is It Better Now when I got it, but when the album came out, I was 2. Well, now everyone knows how old I am. So I couldn't do did I like it when I was 2 compared to 52? Um, but maybe I could. Maybe I could just make up everything I'm going to say like a lot of people do on YouTube. There's a lot of people that just make a lot of stuff up. So, um, but Red Rose Speedway is an excellent album. Um, and My Love is on there, and that's not my favorite song. My favorite song, and then I don't want to get it wrong, is crap. I don't want to. It goes a four-wheeler. I don't want to mix it up with Venus and Mars. Venus and Mars, my favorite on there is Let Me Roll It. No, that's on Band on the Run. Man, I'm mixed up. I'm gonna have to sit down and go through my albums again. I look like I don't know what I'm talking about. Um, Actually, a song that I like on Red Rose Speedway is Little Lamb Dragonfly. Yeah, Little Lamb Dragonfly. Dragonfly, fly by my window. There was a dragonfly that was out here this morning. Um, but yeah, I was going to do a 30th anniversary or a 30th. Do I think it's better? But like I said, it would be kind of tough because it would have been tiny little me and then old me. Because Off the Ground I bought when it came out in 1993 when I was 22? Well, it's a lot of math tonight. Better have another sip of beer. So I don't know if whoever's watching this, I think it says 3, which 2 of you have commented, so I don't know who the third one is. Is the third one a Beatles fan? Maybe not. Um, okay, you can show it around older, and I'm real and very unique. It's a surprise. Okay. Your messages disappear when they're on here. I need to get StreamYard. I'm gonna probably do that on the computer when I do this, but I wanted to sit outside because it's such a beautiful night, and I thought maybe this would be easier. Do I watch any music related YouTubers? Yes, I watch uh, Rick Beato. I think that's how he says his name. Um, I watch I watch Beat. The unfortunate thing is I watch a lot of Beatle guys, but Andrew Dixon, he's one. I can't remember names. It's amazing that I remember those names. One thing I am absolutely horrible. I think I got that from my grandfather. I'm absolutely horrible at is names, is remembering people's names. Um, what else do I watch? Mm, I don't know. There's. I'm just gonna say there's this one guy I watch. And he's good. Yeah, thanks. I don't know if you can see this right here, right there. That is from the Jackrabbit Trading Post when we went on a Route 66 trip last. No, this was 2 years ago. We went on an abbreviated Route 66 trip. Beep, 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 beep. And we went to the Grand Canyon. And I got to the Grand Canyon and I looked out at it. It was like I was looking at a movie screen. It just didn't seem real to me. Beetle Brad, I've seen Beetle Brad. Mr. Yeah, I've seen them. Matthew Street, I don't know. And Stephen Street, well, I've seen some of those on there though. You may have said something about Beetle Brad, possibly. Maybe not. It seems like it may have been you. I try to remember everybody. I don't have the ginormous audience that some people do, but I do remember people. Some of you on there. Carol, I always remember. Um, Barbara Seaton, she lives in England, and it's probably what time is it now? I can't tell. Let's just go. I'll do my sundial, 8 o'clock. I don't know. Say it's 8. Let's say it's 8 o'clock. So it is 2 in the morning there. So she's probably not watching this. Um, hmm. But like I said, I try to remember everyone that talks on here. It might have been you, Doc. I don't know. Might have been you that Beetle Brad. Somebody said something about that I might have. I do remember a comment about that I might have more or a different stuff in my Beetle Room video than Beetle Brad had. I don't know if that was you, Doc, or not. You probably don't even remember it, but I try to remember them. And I try to read as many comments. Sometimes I don't answer them or acknowledge them, and I should. That was because a couple of my Delphi videos had so many comments on them. Some were kind of ridiculous comments, but I mean, I put the video on, so I'm going to expect to get. Oh, I think I missed Carol's. I wish this would stay on there longer. And I can't see it with it sideways. Probably if I had it this way, but I like the landscape. I guess this would be landscape. I don't like the portrait. It doesn't play well later. Um, oh, comments. If I put myself on YouTube, when I make a video and I expect to get feedback, I expect to get any kind of feedback, and whatever feedback that may be, I just have to take it. It's just, in my life, I've taken a lot of criticism. You can look me up and find what else I do. It's real easy to find out. Um, I've even had people make ridiculous comments. Some are just trying to egg me on. Um, Somebody said, this dude's gay. I remember that one, which was funny. I'm married and I've talked about it. And if I was gay, so what? But it comes with the territory. If I put myself on YouTube, I'm going to expect to get that stuff. I don't try to make a big deal out of it, but it's just part of the territory. I probably should be looking at the screen. You come up in the little corner there. Anyway, back to this. Boy, this is backwards. Boop, boop, boop. My fingernail's long. Um, I need to, or that we got that 2 years ago. That is from Jackrabbit Trading Post in Joseph City, Arizona. Cool place. We went there last year. Again, really cool. That's a PBR sign. This was another 66 sign. This is a 1924 license plate. That's awesome. This whole fence of ours is filled with all kinds of signs. Um, License plates. I got an Abbey Road one over there. City of Westminster. Uh, Cool bottle. Yeah, maybe I'll show it another time, but it's starting to get darker out of here. I'm still staying light on there. That's amazing. It's actually getting colder. Now, if I was sitting out here and it was April, I would not be cold. But since it's July and it was about 6,000 degrees the last few days, it seems chilly. But if I looked at the temperature, it would be about 75. So, I'm probably rambling, shooting off my topics, but I'm trying to stay in there, trying to stay with the questions. Um, this is actually, this live has gone better than I thought it would. I thought that, yes, I think she's on live right now because I think I started to watch it. She's somebody that gets like, I don't know, 400 people to watch her live, something like that. I know that when I watch Traveling Robert that I brought up before, he gets like 500-600 live during his live. Um, so that's extremely hard to see all that stuff. You definitely would have to use a computer. But I've seen her, and I've started following her channel. It's been years, a couple years, 2 3 years, and she was really small. Same with True Crime Design, really small, got real big. Um, I mean, I watch all kinds of, especially anybody that has to do with Delphi. I don't really have a problem with anybody when it comes to, if you got a true crime channel, I don't care if there's 5,000, 500,000. There probably is 5,000, probably 50,000. There might be 500,000. If you're, some people are there for good intentions. Some are there for purely for making money. I can't make money. I don't have enough subscribers. It's never really that much of a goal. Yeah. Well, then that tells me you're in the Eastern time zone, Carol. Um, I don't. As long as you're not a complete idiot, I don't really see any problem with anybody, honestly. Um, I can see why people would be pissed off. But some YouTube creators have taken some pretty heavy stuff. I promoted the Prof, and I still like him. I'm not gonna back off of that. I'm sure people don't like that I like him. I think he does what he does, and he's a smart guy, and I'm not gonna badmouth him. I'm not gonna turn on him. I'm not gonna turn on anybody. I watch Ruckus. I watch. Now I've drifted into Delphi again, and the creators. I kind of wanted to get back to that anyway. Randy. I watch Randy Gravett. Randy's a good guy. I think He's honest, and he's just there to help out the case. He lives close. I think he lives in Brookston, which you drive through Brookston to get to Delphi. I think it's Brookston, yeah. And there's other good ones. Cop Facts was good. I like him because he's a retired law enforcement. Same with Ruckus. Um, and I've always been a supporter of law enforcement. I've got a good relationship with law enforcement in our town, and you would know why if you knew more about me. Um, which you can find out real easy. But anybody that's doing anything related to, unless you're not a complete idiot and saying absolutely insane stuff. I know some people's opinions about other people's opinions differ, and I just hope that everyone would be able to get along, because it's just the way that I am. Let's just leave it at that. Oh, do you? So for every day at 4 o'clock, Doc, you do a show. Is Beetle Brad in the United States, or is he in the UK? Brad. Back to you, Carol. Yes. I think last week I missed his Jeopardy because I was gone. I went to Oppenheimer. He's in the southern USA, or you were in the southern USA? Anyway, yes, I was at Oppenheimer, which was an amazing movie. What do? I do I do a variety of things. Um, oh, Beetle Brad is in the southern. Okay, okay. And you are, I assume, on the East Coast. I'll leave it at that. I might have to check that. So is it at 3 o'clock every day, or just like once a week? Anyway, Oppenheimer was a Sunday. Okay, Sundays. Oh, so tomorrow. Um, I will be at Starved Rock tomorrow, so I'll probably have to. But I will look it up, and then maybe I can catch the replay. I have to catch the replay on a lot of things. There's some of the stuff that's people that happen to do shows from Colorado um, do them too late, and I have to do the replay when I get a chance. Um, and also, when you're on too many channels, or you watch too many channels, and they're all competing with each other. So it's like when I watch TV. I don't watch a lot of TV, but it's when I used to watch TV, when TV was actually something. And I'd have 3 shows, and they were all on Wednesday at 7 or something. And anyway, I'm really straying off. Oppenheimer is a fantastic movie. It's Christopher Nolan. I'm not a Christopher Nolan. I'm not heavy into Christopher Nolan. He's got some interesting movies. Of course, the ones I like are Dunkirk and Oppenheimer, because it's World War II. And that's big in with me. If you will excuse me, I don't have anything to put on the screen, but I will be right back in about 30 seconds. I'm back. Hopefully no one left. Sorry I had to do that, but sometimes you have to leave. Hey, I think everyone's still here. Did you count it? Was it 30 seconds? Was it longer than 30 seconds? Um, Nolan, Christopher Nolan. Not that anybody wants to talk about that, but I'm going to talk about that right now. Until somebody else asks me a question. Um, Memento is a good movie. Insomnia is a good movie. Um, Inception's probably where he got really popular. Same one. Sorry. Hey, my cat Winston is looking at me. Hey, buddy. Hey, Winston. Um, I But Inception is weird. I watched Tenet. That was his last movie. I had no idea what was going on in that. I tried to pretend like I did, but yeah, I know what's going on in that thing. Um, but Oppenheimer was so well done. Acting was absolutely amazing. Cillian Murphy was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. In my opinion, I give him an Oscar. Robert Downey Jr. was fantastic. Shows because he's a great actor. He made a lot of money with Iron Man, but um, he was wonderful in Chaplin. I always thought he was great in that. But wonderful movie. It was. I can't recommend it enough. It's 3 hours, and there's a lot of talking in it, but that doesn't bother me. It's very well. It's edited. It goes back and forth, but it everything. There's scenes that don't make sense. Well, I don't want to say that. There's little clips in it that may not make sense, but excuse me, it does in the end. Um, but yes, I'd highly recommend it. And of course, most of the other people in the theater we went to were going to Barbie, and I'm not really interested in Barbie, but apparently it's a fairly decent movie and it's been doing quite well at the box office. Um, I hope you can still see me. Can you still hear me? Actually, not still hear me. Can you hear me? I don't know how loud that is. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Man, it's nice. Good. Thanks, Doc. I didn't actually. That's why I said I should have probably asked when I was, especially when the air conditioner turned on. Got to have air conditioning, especially when its humidity is 1,000,000%. All the outdoor lights are turning on. It's funny. Um, how about maybe the three of you? I think I'm seeing that better. Hey, three is not a crowd. Um, hey, I'll take it. Like I said, I could talk to myself. I do that a lot sometimes. What would those of you that are on here? I know that Doc's on here. I know Carol's on here. You ever coming? At first, I tried Prof, and too much. I tried again, and it was fabulous. Yeah, I suggested Prof because I liked him, but it doesn't mean that everybody's. I don't know if you like him or not, Carol, but I know I see you on other chats. Um, just because I like somebody doesn't mean that other people are going to like them. I understand that. It's to each their own. Um, but I was going to ask those of you that are on there. I think I have 4 now. Hey, um, what would you like to see me do that's within reason and legal, and not something I'm going to get strike for on YouTube? I made a video. Speaking of that, I made a video, and I realized that music was playing in the background, and I got when I went to download it, it gave me a warning. That was weird. It said that because it gives you when you download it, it tells you that there's no issues, and it told me there was an issues on copyright. So I don't know if that's programmed in there or what, but it did it. when I did my coffee in a disc, which I want to do again. I got a lot of ideas, and I don't know if everybody likes them, but when I did that, I played a bit of the second song on Off the Ground. Can't think of it right now. Ah, I claim to be a Beatles fan, and I don't know anything. I tell you what, you can get away with 7 seconds. What I did with that when I played that in there, and they let me get away. I think they let me get away is because I played it on a tablet, and when I played it, I had a fan next to it, and it made it warbly sounding. I think that's how I got that. Probably got away with that one, but the other one, it told me that I was going that it was it didn't. I had a copyright strike on something, but that was a long time ago. Oh, I've got two videos on. No, I've got McCartney. Oh, Carol, you talking about Prof when he did his 9.5 hours or whatever? I saw part of that. I was meeting with people, and I had a discussion about things here in town, and I didn't get to see that. I tried to pay attention to it, but there's a lot of spiders out here now. Huh. Got sidetracked. There's a spider there. There's a spider there. And they probably all come out at night. That probably would have dropped down on my head. Yeah, but I did catch a little bit of it. I think I caught it when it was over, or shortly before it was over, and I seem to always catch lives when they're over or getting over. So I come on there and I look like a doofus. Anyway, I was going to ask, now I'm doing a staring at a spider. I'm going to stare him down. Yes, I'm a public official. Yes, I'm on the city council in my town. And I'm the chairman of the public safety, which is the police committee. I don't really ever want to say what I do on there because I leave it up to others to figure it out. And I take a lot of heat being on the city council. I've been on there for 6 years. And it's not a position where you're liked. A lot of people don't like you when you're there. I might have to turn that outside light on if I'm going to keep going, because you're not going to be able to see me pretty soon, and you got to see my wonderful face. Give me 7 seconds. Go. Much better. Now you got a great shot of my face. I missed that, Carol. Sorry. I wish I could see that better. Wish I would stay on there, and then I could just get rid of them. They just come on there and then they disappear. I guess that's part of the learning experience with this. Oh man, I lost one. I'm down to 3. Well, I hope the fourth one didn't go when they found out I was on the city council. No, we have to make a lot of decisions, and most people don't like any of them. You only hear the negativity, unfortunately. Man, I mean, I understand it. I got into it. I ran for the office. The first term I ran, I got 70% of the vote. And, oh, thank you. And the last time I ran, I was unopposed. Either I'm that great or people don't want to be on the city council. I think it's probably the latter. Maybe I'm great. Maybe I'm the greatest. You better believe it, baby. Ringo. I am still looking at that spider. Really working on a web. Got big plans for the night. I turned the light on, of course. The lightning bugs are out. Anyway, I want to, what would, since you're on here, and what would be the things that you would like to see me do? What interests you from those that the three of you are on there, or in the future, if anybody watches this on a replay? What, I have an idea what most people that have seen my videos like or subscribe to my channel. I only have 325 subscribers. It's better than three, but um, thank you, Carol. Um, what would you like what would you like to see for videos? I really have always wanted to do travel videos. Um, I just don't have the equipment. It's the unfortunate thing, and I just don't. It's hard to orchestrate or plan a meaningful trip without filming everything, coming up with things to show, planning it without. Sometimes you don't actually get to enjoy where you're at. That's the unfortunate thing. The sitting here and talking like this is real easy, and I can see why people do it. I think more people on YouTube do live streams because it's easy. It gets them minutes or hours and views. And I decided I wanted to do live a long time ago, but they wouldn't let me. I think you have to have like 50 subscribers, and I didn't have any for a long time. A few years ago, I wanted to do lives, and then I went into YouTube Analytics, found out I couldn't do it. I think you got to have 50. At least that's what I remember it being. I went past 50, and you can't travel around like woo. You have to do. Yeah, that's right. It's kind of tough. Yeah, it is. I did the video when I did the 3 videos recently when I went to the race at Madison at Gateway or Worldwide Technology Raceway. Make sure I say it right. We left. I left from here, went down bobbity bob through these towns, and ended up in Havana, which is on the Illinois River. That was cool. It's the first time I've ever been there. Been to a lot of places, but I've never been there. A lot of places in Illinois. Been a lot of places in the country. Um, then we went down and drove the Illinois River Road. And there was a lot of things that I had recorded that just never came up. Traveling would be hard to do. Travel. Yeah. Then we ended up to a town that I had loved, which is Grafton, Illinois, which is devastated by floods. Kind of like my town. When I first got on the city council, we got nailed by a flood in 2018. I'd been on there for about a year. No, take that back. I'd been on there about 7 months. We got nailed by the worst flood that we'd ever had here. And thanks, girl. Yeah, that was fun. And it was weird with the fact they wouldn't run the race because there was lightning. The lightning was 50 miles, I think, from the track. And that's maybe that's conservative. Let's be liberal and say it was 25 miles. But it was still a great race. I'm not a Kyle Busch fan, but I used to not stand Kyle Busch, but whatever. Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick were kind of arch enemies. Now they get along. But Harvick, if you see my videos, Kevin Harvick is my favorite NASCAR driver, and he's retiring this year. He got 10th, and it was fun to see him out there again. And I'd actually like to be able to go to another race, but they're kind of difficult to go to. The Brickyard's coming up, but I don't like the Brickyard the way it is. Yeah, well, if I could do NASCAR videos. I have thought of that. My son is big into them. We thought about doing the Brandon and Son NASCAR videos, but I don't know how much interest I'm really going to have in NASCAR after Harvick's gone. I watched him come in. The funny thing is I was kind of a hit and miss NASCAR fan, and then I started watching in 2001 because that's when Fox picked it up. Very first race I watched was the Daytona. The full race I watched was the Daytona 500 in 2001, and Dale Earnhardt died. So I've always got that memory. And at the time, I tried to my brother was a Jeff Gordon fan. My other brother, who we lost in 2015, was a Rusty Wallace fan. And so I picked Steve Park. And Steve Park was probably having his best year that year. And he got in an accident in what is now the Xfinity Series. It was a Busch race then. And he was injured pretty bad, and he was out for the rest of the season. But at the same time, in Kevin Harvick's third race was Atlanta, and his first race was Rockingham, then Vegas, then Atlanta, and he won it. And it was one of the most exciting races I'd seen, and I had become a massive Kevin Harvick fan, so I had two. That's fine. That's fine. Formula One's fine. I used to be a big Indy fan because the Indianapolis 500 was close to me. It's only 2 hours from here. I was one of the best Indy, I know it's Formula One, but one of the biggest Indy races, or the best ones, was Danny Sullivan's Indy 500 win in '85 when he did a complete spin and still won the race. I was a AJ Foyt fan. I liked Sullivan then. Clear back to Danny Angaius. Who else? Tom Sneva. Unsers. All of them. I was a big Indy fan. That's all you got. Of course, it wasn't on TV. They didn't televise it until after 10 or something. You had to listen to it on the radio, but it was always fun. It was always a great family memory watching that. When I run out of ideas for videos, I review Soda Pop and Breakfast here. That's good. Yeah, food reviews are always real popular. I like the people that do food reviews from inside their car. Maybe I can do beer reviews. I don't want to do beer reviews because I don't drink that much different beer. This is Miller Lite, and it's not an ad, and I don't get paid for it. Yeah, I am. The bad thing is that they closed Chicago. We used to go to Chicago, but every time we went to Chicago, we watched Kyle Busch win a race. We went to truck races. We went to Xfinity races. We went to Cup races. Except for I never won a Cup race when we were there. But he won 2 Brickyards. The Brickyard. We went to the first Brickyard that we went to was 2001. Steve Park had a chance to win it, didn't win it. Jeff Gordon ends up winning. My wife gets pregnant the next year with my son, of course. Bill Elliott wins. We were going to go in 2003, and Monkey's Banana Nut Soda. Monkeys, you spell that like hey, we're the monkeys. 2003, I was ready to go down there, and we didn't go. Kevin Harvick wins. We go 2004, 2005, 2006, you know the story. All the way up. Then we decided to not go in 2017. I think Kane won, and then Keselowski won, and then the next 2 Harvick wins. So, luckily, we didn't stop going in 2008, because that means that I would have missed all of the Harvicks and I had a chance. I did see Harvick win 2 Xfinity races at Chicago, which they closed, and it made me sad because that was a real easy track to get to. It was just south of Joliet. They say Joliet, but it's really not Joliet even. Or it's definitely not Chicagoland. But I really wish they would go back. That was a great track. When they stopped going there, they were packing the place. It was absolute. The last race was 2020. We didn't. That's when we went 2021. No. I don't remember. I don't know. I've been to a number of races up there, like 5 or 6 truck races, Busch or Xfinity races. But it's a shame that they had to close it. in the Chicago street race, I guess. I don't know how that's going to work out. I watched that. That seemed to be a cluster. It was cool. It was cool to see. I bet that was really cool when if you were at the track. That was probably pretty cool. Um, but I don't. It's probably something that's not going to last. But like the Brickyard, which is a street race, I saw recently that there was talk about it going back to the original oval, which would be fine. That was fun. We used to get tickets in the stands, and actually, when we just got general admission tickets for the infield, that was as fun as anything. Just get your lawn chairs, get your cooler, sit in there, wait. They come by on the curve. You wait another minute and 20 seconds until they come back by. But top of the hour, yeah. Yeah, I should talk about Delphi more, but there's not really, unfortunately, not really anything going on unless the Klein thing, unless Keegan Klein's, right, he got every bit of what he deserved. Indiana has, he got 40 years, so I think I figured he's got 33 and a half, no, 36, I don't know. Because Indiana has 85%. They follow the federal guidelines in truth in sentencing. And so he's 29, so he'll be like, I figured out he'd be like 63 when he gets out. And I hope he's there until he's 63, because the way he is not something that you develop into. That's something you're born with. You're born a sexual deviant and you can't change. And he's not going to, I don't know how many doesn't matter how many psychotic drugs, what you call them, any drugs are going to make any change in him. May calm his behavior a little bit, but deep down inside, he's going to do what he wants to do, and he's going to continue to do it. So whatever they could give him as a maximum sentence is fantastic. And he got 40 plus 3 probation. And in my opinion, he should be in prison for life, but that's just me. But what he got was better than what it could have been, which was time served, and that would have been bad. I think a lot of states, for offensive CSAM or something like that, yeah, that's the problem. Um, I saw that comment. I was kind of thrown off there. Anyway, usually I think I've known some people to get 8 to 10, or in the 8 to 10 range maybe, and then they end up serving 4, half. But I know in Illinois, I'm not sure what Illinois has. I thought it was 85%, but I don't know. But Delphi, in relation to that, my opinion is that Keegan Klein has a part in Delphi, but I think with his case being over, any evidence or his part in it will be minimal. I just don't think it's going to be. I don't know if there was a deal that was worked out, part of his plea deal. If there's evidence in there, I think he's probably pretty much a full-time liar. So I don't know how much I would believe him, but on a lot of things. But I think his part is probably minimal. I know he was in contact. I know there was contact between certain people close to the case that had contact with Kagan, or the Anthony Shots account. So, but I think it's just me. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that Keegan Klein is in any way related substantially to the Delphi case? I'd like to hear that. I think he's involved, but it's not. You'd like to know? I think I was saying it. But I think that I would like to hear what you guys think. The ones that are interested in the case. I would assume that maybe all 3 of you are. I don't know. I'm going to pretend like there's 30 people in here. Um, but I am curious to what other people think. I know there's some uh, creators. I hate calling people YouTube creators. They are creators, but they're not just creators out there trying to create stuff. They have an opinion. They have an opinion of this case. Um, they Anybody that has an opinion of the case is fine to. Yeah. See, that's good because I think it's no mosquitoes, not mosquito time. Um, anyway, the creators, bugs are starting to get me. Um, Anybody that has an opinion on the case is anyway. The bugs are starting to get me. I'm getting really sidetracked now, and I'm still staring at that spider. Same beer for the last 2 hours, so it's not like I'm over imbibing. Man, what a beautiful night. I hate winter. Winter is awful. I never liked winter. Never, even when I was a kid. But I know. Oh, I think I was going to say. I think I was on the path of saying that other creators think there's more. That Kagan Clan has more a significant role, and it could be true. But and there's a lot of other people that think that the Flora fire has a lot to do with it. I think that it might be true. Sounds like a drag strip. It might be true, but to me, I think that the Flora fire. I'm sure that'll upset people that happen to watch this later, but I think the Flora fire is only related because there's similar people involved, or people involved in Delphi and the Flora fire that are just kind of casually connected. I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, it's the way it goes. I'm wrong. But I think it's just a casual connection. I don't think it's I don't know. I don't think it's a grand conspiracy. I think it's just fire department, things like that. Really? You like cold and snow? I have a friend that was actually an alderman. He loved it when he loved the snow. And I always made fun of him. But a couple other people. I had another friend when I was younger. He always used to, if there was a, okay, thanks for joining me, Doc. Hope to see you again. I'm sure I'll do this again. Maybe I should do one when I'm outside in the winter. That would be interesting. You can watch me out here shivering. Then I'll look like Jack Torrance, Mr. Torrance. You can see me sitting there, going, because I'm frozen. If you don't know what that is, it's The Shining. One of my favorites, classic. Probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Hey, I've got some more people involved. I'm up to Faye, Winston. You can't come out. He has a tent to go in, but you can't come. Oh, Carol, your question was up there and I missed it. Sorry. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do this on a computer. Maybe they'll stay up there longer. Or if I do it this way, but I don't really want to because I can see it better this way. And you get a much better look at my face. I see that there's a couple more people on there, so I'd like to hear from you. I've been on here for almost 70 minutes. That's 70 minutes. And it's getting darker. Temperature hasn't went down as much, very much. Still nice out. So, I asked the question about what video, maybe I never did finish that. What videos would you like to see me do? I said I like to do the travel videos, but I think Doc maybe said NASCAR videos. But I'd like to hear other suggestions, or even ones I don't do. Maybe I should do a comedy one. No, that wouldn't be any good. Maybe I should do beer videos. No, that wouldn't be good either. Because if I did, let's say I did an IPA, I tested IPAs, and then I had to drink the entire beer, and I had like 8 IPAs, and some of them had 9% alcohol. I would have to give you my findings the next day, because my findings that night would probably be unintelligible. So, probably won't do that. Well, I'm trying to think of something else now that I have actually more interest. I got 5 people and 3 likes. I had 6, I think, at one time. Oh, thank you. Yeah. She's, I think, when I watch her, I try to figure out her accent. I think she sounds Dutch, but I don't know. I don't watch her enough, so maybe she said where she's from, but, or South African, possibly, because they have a similar dialect. I know that Little Joe Lewis is Australian. Um, I know I have people that follow me from Australia. Of course, my biggest subscribers or followers are from the United States. Second is the UK. Third's Canada, and fourth is Australia. And I got some from New Zealand. It's probably because we all speak English. Um, that spider has been working the whole time. Just a working and a working and a working. Oh, you're grizzly. Yeah, okay. South Africa, living in the Netherlands. Yeah, yeah. The Netherlands. Dutch is Denmark, right? Yeah. Close enough. Um, yeah. Um, she's good at what she does. Yeah. I could probably be. I probably could be more strange on here, but probably or more make it more interesting. But I probably shouldn't. Um, but maybe I will sometime. Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna have to call it a night. Can't really think of anything else. Hopefully, this kind of spreads around and I get some more people again. I don't know the next time I'll do a live, but I appreciate all of you, the ones that were on here, my loyal ones. I appreciate you being on here, and I will see you next time. Thanks again. Thanks for commenting. If you haven't liked it, please like. I don't like saying that stuff. And if you watch this in the future and you don't subscribe, please subscribe. It'd be wonderful. And so everybody out there, I will see you. There's Winston. He's waiting for me. Maybe I'll have him on here next time. So until the next time I do this, which I will maybe give you more of a heads up. So I'll give you more of a heads up, and we'll be able to, and maybe I'll be a little bit more organized, possibly. I don't know. Maybe I was organized now, but I don't know. But at least in my head, will be organized. So I will see you then. Bye-bye, everyone. And yes, I am going to end it. Bye-bye.